On November 24th, 1992, the quiet town of Brookhaven, New York, became the epicenter of one of the most intriguing UFO incidents in modern history. As darkness fell over Brookhaven Park, an otherworldly event was about to unfold. Residents had no idea their lives were about to change forever. The crisp autumn air carried a sense of anticipation, as if nature itself knew something extraordinary was about to occur. At approximately 7:12 p.m., a blinding flash of light illuminated the night sky. Witnesses describe it as brighter than any firework they'd ever seen. The light was followed by a low, rumbling sound that shook windows and rattled dishes. Many residents initially mistook it for an earthquake or an explosion at the nearby Brookhaven National Laboratory. But what happened next defied all conventional explanations. Multiple eyewitnesses reported seeing a large, disc-shaped object plummeting from the sky. It appeared to be on fire, leaving a trail of smoke and debris in its wake. The object seemed to be struggling to maintain altitude, as if it were a wounded bird trying to stay aloft. As it descended, it made erratic movements, zigzagging across the sky before disappearing behind the tree line in Brookhaven Park. The impact was felt for miles around. A thunderous boom echoed through the town, followed by an eerie silence. In the moments that followed, confusion and fear gripped the community. Emergency services were flooded with calls from concerned citizens. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of a mystery that would captivate the nation and fuel conspiracy theories for decades to come. As news of the incident spread, eyewitness accounts began to pour in from all corners of Brookhaven. Sarah Thompson, a local schoolteacher, was one of the first to come forward. She described seeing a massive metallic object, at least the size of a school bus, hovering above the trees. Thompson's account was particularly detailed, noting that the object had no visible windows or markings, but was ringed with pulsating lights that changed color from red to blue to green. Another witness, retired Air Force veteran James Holloway, provided a more technical description. He stated, "In my 20 years of service, I've never seen anything like it. The craft's maneuvers defied the laws of physics as we know them. It moved with a fluidity that no man-made aircraft could achieve." Holloway's military background lent credibility to his account, causing many to take the incident more seriously. Perhaps the most chilling account came from 12-year-old Tommy Baker, who was camping in his backyard that night. Tommy claimed to have seen tall, skinny beings with big heads emerging from the crashed object. He described them as having grayish skin and large black eyes that seemed to glow in the dark. Tommy's parents initially dismissed his story as a product of an overactive imagination, but as more details of the crash emerged, they began to question their skepticism. Local police officer Maria Sanchez was one of the first responders to the scene. Her official report noted a strong smell of ozone and burnt metal in the area of the alleged crash. Sanchez also mentioned finding unusual metal fragments that seemed to change color when touched. These fragments were quickly confiscated by men in black suits, who arrived shortly after and claimed to be from a specialized government agency. Sanchez's account added an element of official corroboration to the growing narrative of a UFO crash in Brookhaven. Within hours of the reported crash, personnel from the nearby Brookhaven National Laboratory, or BNL, descended upon the scene. Their rapid response raised eyebrows among local residents and fueled speculation about the true nature of the incident. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a senior physicist at BNL, led the initial investigation team. She later stated in a press conference that they were merely conducting routine environmental checks following reports of an unusual atmospheric event. However, eyewitnesses paint a different picture of the BNL's involvement. Local farmer George Wilson, whose property borders the park, reported seeing a convoy of unmarked vehicles entering the area late at night. He described men in hazmat suits combing the crash site with strange, beeping devices. Wilson's account suggests a level of urgency and secrecy that seemed at odds with the official explanation of routine checks. Adding to the intrigue, several BNL employees who were not part of the official response team came forward with anonymous statements. One scientist, speaking on condition of anonymity, claimed that the lab had been put on high alert even before the crash occurred. He stated, "There was an unusual buzz around the facility that day. It was as if they knew something was going to happen." This statement, if true, raises questions about the laboratory's foreknowledge of the event. Perhaps most puzzling was the laboratory's handling of physical evidence from the crash site. Multiple witnesses reported seeing BNL personnel collecting metal fragments and soil samples. Yet, when pressed for information about these samples, the laboratory consistently denied having any material related to the incident. This apparent discrepancy between eyewitness accounts and official statements only served to deepen the mystery surrounding the Brookhaven UFO crash. Section 4. John Ford's controversial video evidence. At the heart of the Brookhaven UFO incident lies the controversial video evidence captured by local UFO researcher John Ford. Ford, known in the community for his interest in extraterrestrial phenomena, claimed to have been tipped off about the crash by an anonymous source within the Brookhaven National Laboratory. Armed with his video camera, Ford rushed to the scene, managing to capture what he believed was irrefutable proof of the UFO crash. The video, which runs for approximately 17 minutes, shows a distant glow in the woods, punctuated by flashes of light. As Ford narrates, his camera zooms in on what appears to be a metallic object partially obscured by trees. The footage is grainy and shaky, but it clearly shows unusual activity in the area. At one point, shadowy figures can be seen moving around the glowing object, their movements quick and purposeful. Ford's video quickly became the centerpiece of UFO enthusiasts' claims about the Brookhaven incident. It was analyzed by numerous experts, with some declaring it the most compelling evidence of extraterrestrial visitation ever captured. Others, however, were more skeptical, pointing out that the poor quality of the footage made it impossible to definitively identify the object or figures shown. The controversy surrounding Ford's video took a dark turn in the years following the incident. Ford claimed he was being harassed by government agents who wanted to suppress his evidence. In 1996, Ford was arrested on charges of conspiracy to commit murder, which his supporters claim was a setup to discredit him. The video itself disappeared shortly after Ford's arrest, with only a few low-quality copies remaining in circulation. This chain of events has led many to believe that Ford's video captured something the authorities were desperate to keep hidden, turning the Brookhaven UFO crash into a tale of not just extraterrestrial visitation, but also of government conspiracy and cover-up. Section 5. Conspiracy Theories. Unraveling the Mystery. The Brookhaven UFO crash quickly became a hotbed for conspiracy theories, each more elaborate than the last. One of the most prevalent theories suggests that the crash was not an accident, but a planned landing gone wrong. Proponents of this idea argue that extraterrestrial beings were attempting to make contact with scientists at the Brookhaven National Laboratory. They claim that the advanced research conducted at the facility had attracted alien attention, and the crash was a result of Earth's electromagnetic field interfering with the UFO's propulsion system. Another popular theory revolves around the idea of reverse-engineered alien technology. Some believe that the craft that crashed in Brookhaven was actually a secret government prototype, built using technology recovered from previous UFO crashes, most notably the alleged Roswell incident of 1947. This theory gained traction when a former employee of a defense contractor came forward, claiming to have worked on projects involving materials of non-terrestrial origin at a classified facility near Brookhaven. The involvement of the Brookhaven National Laboratory in the incident's aftermath has spawned its own set of conspiracy theories. Some speculate that the laboratory has been conducting secret experiments on interdimensional travel, and the UFO crash was actually a failed attempt to open a portal to another dimension. Supporters of this theory point to the laboratory's work in particle physics and the mysterious circumstances surrounding the crash as evidence of their claims. Perhaps the most outlandish, yet surprisingly popular conspiracy theory suggests that the Brookhaven incident was part of a larger extraterrestrial plan to gradually acclimatize humanity to their presence. According to this theory, the crash was intentionally staged to gauge public reaction and government response. Proponents argue that similar incidents have been orchestrated around the world, each designed to slowly prepare Earth's population for the eventual revelation of alien existence. While these theories may seem far-fetched to some, they continue to captivate the imagination of many, fueling ongoing debates about the true nature of the Brookhaven UFO crash. Section 6. Government Silence and Media Blackout. In the wake of the Brookhaven UFO crash, the most striking aspect of the official response was the deafening silence from government agencies. Despite numerous eyewitness accounts and the video evidence provided by John Ford, no official statement was ever released acknowledging the incident. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, claimed to have no records of any unusual aerial activity in the area on the night in question. The Department of Defense, when pressed for comment, stated that they had no information about any event in Brookhaven that would fall under their purview. This wall of silence extended to local government as well. The Brookhaven Town Council, which initially seemed open to investigating the incident, abruptly ceased all public discussion of the matter following a closed-door meeting with federal officials. Councilman Robert Jameson, who had been vocal about the need for transparency, suddenly became unavailable for comment. His colleagues, when asked about the meeting, would only say that they had been advised to direct all inquiries to federal authorities. Perhaps even more puzzling than the government's silence was the apparent media blackout that followed the incident. Initial reports of a strange occurrence in Brookhaven Park appeared in local newspapers and on regional news broadcasts. However, within days, these stories were retracted or simply disappeared from public archives. Journalists who attempted to follow up on the incident found their inquiries stonewalled or their stories mysteriously pulled before publication. Sarah Jenkins, a reporter for the Long Island Gazette, claims her in-depth investigative piece on the Brookhaven crash was scrapped at the last minute by her editors. "I had corroborated accounts from multiple witnesses, including law enforcement officials," Jenkins stated. "But the night before the story was set to run, I was told it had been killed. No explanation was given. Similar accounts from other journalists have led many to believe that there was a concerted effort to suppress information about the incident, fueling further speculation about what really happened that night in Brookhaven Park." Section 7. The Lingering Questions. A Case Unsolved. Decades after the alleged UFO crash in Brookhaven, the incident continues to perplex researchers and captivate the public imagination. Despite the passage of time, many questions remain unanswered. leaving the case as one of the most intriguing unsolved mysteries in UFO lore. Chief among these questions is the nature of the object that reportedly crashed. Was it truly an extraterrestrial craft, a secret government prototype, or something else entirely? The lack of definitive physical evidence has made it challenging to draw any concrete conclusions. The role of the Brookhaven National Laboratory in the incident's aftermath also remains a point of contention. While the laboratory maintains that their response was routine, the accounts of witnesses and anonymous insiders suggest a level of involvement that goes beyond standard procedure. What, if anything, did the laboratory recover from the crash site? And why has there been such reluctance to discuss their findings openly? These questions continue to fuel speculation about potential government knowledge of extraterrestrial life. The fate of John Ford and his video evidence represents another unresolved aspect of the case. Ford's subsequent legal troubles and the disappearance of his original footage have led many to believe in a coordinated effort to discredit and silence him. Yet, without access to the full, unedited video, it's impossible to determine the true significance of what Ford captured that night. The loss of this potential evidence remains a significant setback for those seeking to uncover the truth about the Brookhaven incident. As we look back on the events of November 24th, 1992, we are left with more questions than answers. The Brookhaven UFO crash stands as a testament to the enduring mystery of unidentified aerial phenomena. It challenges our understanding of what is possible and forces us to confront the limitations of our knowledge about the universe. Whether the truth of what happened that night will ever come to light remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The Brookhaven incident continues to inspire curiosity, debate, and a relentless pursuit of answers about our place in the cosmos.